coming in here. I think this is a relatively okay read where you can actually go, hey, there's a lot of the champions like the Azir and stuff like that are going to be okay to try and play up against. Syndra, not so much though. You actually have a ton of range. You've got good opportunity to
get that flash out of him. So yeah, it's going to go straight in. Going to look to try and maybe land the chains. Knock up is good. They're getting the damage down. There's a good red buff there as well. Flash forward, another flash. The red buff is ticking. Mireu does pick up that kill. Will level up to keep him safe and healthy, and that could be huge against Levi, who's trying to turn this one around. The knock-up is decent. No flash. Looking to try and decoy it out, but he just can't. And everybody gets a level up. And you know what? You're right. It is, because it's actually.
Oh, there we go.
We're going to see them try and jump in now. There's still going to be the crash down, trying to get a bit of CC. Nice cleanse there from Slater. Means he's getting it from. So. It happens, but now that you got that bot lane going.
Pallet now in the mid lane though, trying to see what he can pick up here.
He can maybe go for a bit of a quickness here. The unleashed power is good, and he doesn't even need his support.
Good stuff from GAM. And again, we were kind of saying, hey, look, R7, great start. You're getting the 2 kills in mid. You're getting control over bot side, but it's now starting to fall apart.
Oh, there's Levi as well on the top side. Bong going to try his absolute best, but he knows he's
pretty well. But Levi now here.
Oh, Levi does pop down the Cyclone to make sure he's able to try and get away from this one here. They're tanking this turret very much, way too long, and it's just all kind of falling apart right now. They're going to lose 2. They may even lose more as Kiaya TP down on top of that ward. Not quite able to get much else. He does go all out. Bong try to see if he can just maybe snip him down. Gets knocked back for his efforts. Flashes away. The Ignite. Oh, Jimmy, the Smite. And now the Ignite. The Magnet Storm comes in. They're going to try and take down the Kiaya. They finally do. But that wave is huge. And Seo and Lions, they have to leave.
They got to get the hell out of here. Seo, you have flash, but I don't know if you want to burn it on this play.
They have much bigger health bars than you, and there's a lot more of them. You need to back away from that play. And what started off so brightly for R7, that was 4v5 because Slater's just PvE.
I mean, it was an absolute mess across the board from R7. Target selection was completely off. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They're over.
Coming in from all sides, but maybe we're not the ones getting collapsed upon. Maybe you are. There's the Cataclysm coming down. They haven't killed off the turret just yet. Now they have a flash away by Audi. As you can see, Mireu finally coming in, steals away the quickness, trying to jump in here on top of the tanks. You got Levi going down first. There's a good needlework here. Good scat of the week, though. Gings them all right back into the hands of the Xayah, and now they can turn into this fight. R7 thought they had an opportunity, but GAM it just feels like every time they go for something, the mobility and the CC available to GAM. You never want to see a Cataclysm unless it's onto Slater.
Well, that's the big thing, right? Is when you have access to these
out.
But what can he do?
Oh, what can he do? Because he is getting bursted down and deleted from the map.
Outside going to crack up in another tier 2 for GAM. I mean, GAM are looking to rewrite the history. Syndra performance has been wonderful.
Catty going to jump in straight and try and find Mireu, but misses the scatter of the week. That's pretty big, and he's going to get a fair bit of damage struck on top of him. The Kaiser goes straight in onto the backside. They're trying to burn down this Syndra, and they will. Cataclysm goes down onto Slater, who has to let the feathers fly. Tries to get away from this entire 3-man unit, and it's all a little bit separated. This is good for R7. They're not letting them fight in a 5v5. Now Bomb flashes back over. Pallet tries to go in, but Slater takes down the Gwen. Now in a 4v4, you got double pink wards in there to stop Levi from getting caught out. Audi does have a flag and drag should he need it. They go forward. They're going to try and burst down the Kazante, and they will. 3v4. Crash down comes in. Levi jumps back over the wall. It's all the movement you could possibly want. Slater sees so many low health bars. GAM going to go for the dragon, and everyone else just resets from R7. I mean, look, the health went out, but I think it might be a little bit too late. Audi finally here, does get scattered the week, though. Pallet trying to see if he can look for a bit of a flank. They're turning and burning onto the Kazante, and now they're going to try and burn down the Audi, excuse me, to come back in now and try and start this fight. Bong has nothing. He's got no real flank potential. Levi just jumps back on top of his face, and it's a double kill here for the side of Slater. GAM are just pulling R7 apart. Back into the fight. Triple kill for Slater. And GAM put their foot down.
R7, I don't think you want to try and contest this yet. They're going to back away.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They just keep the pressure up and just make sure there's no real opportunity for R7 to find an unarmed.
And GAM looking exceptionally powerful right now, looking comfortable pushing forward. They will get an objective out outside the first tower for R7. But I mean, it could be too little too late because they're looking at their base being taken down as Mireu throws away a Everfrost a little bit too far away. There's going to be Pallet taking a fair chunk of damage as he tries to go in with the quickness. They still have the Flash Magnet Storm, and you can see now, yes, the inhibitor was taken.
But Pallet having a flank, he's kind of playing frontline right now, misses the knockup as well.
Here we go, they're going to go in. Smite confirms that's the Hex Soul. There's the double knockback, and immediately Audi is dead. They're going to try to get in with a Flash Magnet Storm. Ooh, that was good damage though coming in from Bong, but it's just too little too late. Triple kill comes in here for Levi, and there's going to be a full house. Trips on dubs, double into triple on the ace. GAM get everything. They'll push up mid, and they'll end the game.
I mean, it was one last hurrah from OR7, and it nearly worked out, but unfortunately Bong couldn't quite get the damage that he needed out across the line after being set behind early, and now it's the victory lap for GAM as they walk the minions home.
Yeah, they walk the minions home. They even get the full applaud from their minions as they start to smash down these Nexus turrets. That's game one of this best of three as R7 step one step closer to elimination. GAM keeping themselves alive in the World's 2023 playing stage as they look to try and redeem themselves here in the losers bracket.
Yeah, Odie will try and pad the KDA, but not even GAM will give them that. Match up into the Lee Sin as well. Because you end up getting the shields on the Vi, you've got a lot of upfront burst damage. It can be pretty difficult for the Lee Sin to duel you if you're not low already when they initially go into that trade. So Levi should have a decent
for his pathing. So it definitely feels like they are going for the right decisions for the moment, as we can just see now a little bit of a trade back in this top side. The all-out now available alongside that Grandmaster's Might, and you can see now Bong just wants nothing to do with this. He may have to use his flash. The cooldown is 10 seconds or more, so they're maybe not so easy to get that buff back.
I mean, still Kiaya is getting good trades with that Sheen proc. Now as they go in, Bong needs to be careful. Wants to try and get the knockback, but here we go.
He uses ultimate there to try and maybe move away. He's getting some decent movement from it. Levi, the flash kick there, gets him underneath the tower. The last shot shall kill him off, and finally R7 are rewarded.
Control when it comes to range advantage. Leon's gonna be
they're going to flash in, TP as well. They're going to try and put down all the CC and absolutely burn the Rakan down. It's got to
be the mid lane, because if that sticks around, you're going to end up with a couple of extra turret plates. It looks like Kati kind of realizing that, going to move up there to cover. Again, Bong, Kiaya going toe-to-toe, but the fact that you've now got the chain vest and the Sheen means these trades aren't as easy for Kiaya anymore.
That's 3 plates as well going over to Miru, so out to farm for the moment. 1 minute till the plates do drop. We'll see where everyone kind of stands in terms of their lane economy, but I mean, first items being completed across the board. Kiaya might look for a bit of a move here. The all-out underneath the tower, and as you can see, Kiaya taking a fair chunk of damage. Does have the lead strike to get himself back at a wave, but he gets put up just once more, and this is a lot closer than the top laner of GAM really wants it to be. You've got the Vi coming up. The wave has been cleared away, though. Do they want to go for a fight? Yes, they do. They're going to try and tank it up and take him down. Alec kind of playing between both lanes. It means they're going to try and engage straight away on the Slater, who flashes and gets himself away with the Ghost as well. Audie just doing a quick rotation there. Make sure that he's able to kind of make sure he keeps away. Lion needs to be very careful. Magnet Storm comes in. The flash scatter of the week comes out. And there is these unleash power to make sure they get the kill.
Not able to connect with the Q over the wall, which meant that the CC chain didn't land, which gave Mirror that opportunity to flash, but Odie's not in the same problem.
No, Slater gets caught as well, so that's Slater taken out before the fight can really begin. You're going to see Odie using the taxi known as the Rift Herald. Bomb goes all out, flash by Levi as he gets himself over the wall. Kiaya jumps in, and you can see Odie jumping back out. You do have a flash available for Kiaya, so he's just going to try and be a nuisance for the moment. They jump in, but the knockback is good. There's the Magnet Storm to come out, and finally Kiaya gets himself out. Kati finally joining in onto the fray. It is all over the place as Kiaya picks up a double. Now you can see them trying to look for this one. Seo and Miru trying to just kite this one out as best they can, but the shattering strike shatters Seo's dreams of being the carry, and its unleashed power is almost coming back up as well. They might be able to try and go for this one more time, and they should be able to confirm the kill here onto Miru. He had no flash, he had no way out, and they are
getting into this fight because he knows Leap Strike is available for Kiaya, so he leaps out of the pit again to then walk back into the pit to then stay at the back of the pit to keep himself safe as the rest of the GAM. 7 going to try and respond by pushing in mid. I think Caddy has to be very careful. I don't think he realizes how many members of OR7 are actually up on this top side.
He's going to know now that there's no real defending this turret, and he goes from the spot side as Bong. He's going to try and delay this one a little bit. Levi may have gone a little bit too far forward. No flash for him, so going to use the ultimate there onto Miru as he TP'd in. And actually a lot of damage. The unleashed power, not quite enough, but he's ticking down. He's got so much damage there with the Leandri's Anguish. Not quite able to kill him off. Oh my god, it looks like the screen is glitching. But while that's all been happening, Bong does end up getting taken out, and it's ended up being a 5v4 now. Everyone's in this bot side. Slater feeling confident, pops the Ghost, gets charmed immediately, and into a secondary charm means he has no way of saving himself. Cleansed by Seo keeps him alive for the moment. Pallet gets the Hex Flash forward. And everyone just kind of backs up.
He spotted, and they're able to get the charm then to get at least a kill back in their favor.
I want to know how much HP pad. I need
There's so many different angles of attack.
Yeah, you can see Lions just moving around, putting Pallet away from the fight. The Unstoppable comes in, they jump in onto Minoru, and they're trying to burst him down. Knock up there and Charm onto the 2 carries, and All Out comes out, but Minoru is already dead. It's going to be the mid laners, not quite traded just yet, because the Vi comes in to save the day. That's Cleanse in as Kiaya gets shut down, but look at Slater and the rest of GAM pushing in, pushing forward. Seo quite literally playing on the edge of his health bar. Lion says, go on without me, you need to survive, but Slater is his name, and he slays him down. Double kill in here for GAM's AD carry. Good fight away from them basically winning this game. As we can see now, Lions tries to get a little bit fancy with the footwork, gets himself over the wall, but the leap strike into the counter strike. They're going to have to use the charm, they're going to have to use everything they possibly can to keep the support alive. They just can't. Seo, he's in no man's land and he's being caught and killed. There's the unleashed power, and now you've lost your AD carry. Can you take the fight after the fact? That is the question. The kick there on the Kiaya does mean he goes down. The charm is good to get down onto Levi. They're going to have to try and back themselves away. Nicing in. They know that Pink Ward is there. The charm doesn't land. And now they're going to get another scat of the week. Kati has been insane with these CC chains. And now they can really look for the fight. The All Out comes out as Bong looks to jump on the Kati. Double stopwatch is used. And then they can really re-engage. Seo just has nowhere to go, nowhere to be. And I mean,
to try and deal with them, but what can he do? Kiaya now says, no way are you getting in the back door here.
You do not have to go home, mate, but you can't stay here. That is the most bouncer.
Front to back fights, which is perfect for Syndra. Although this one, a bit more spread out.
Oh, they're going to look to try and fully engage. There's going to flash in, scatter the weak. Slater there to try and take everybody else out, and they're all being pinched in. Everyone being jumped around on top of this one here. The feathers fly. And that is going to be Sale getting dropped down one more time. He hasn't been allowed to play the game. And while that's all been happening, they are just jumping onto Bong, who does go all out and tries to turn this one around. He is a Kazante, and he will be able to get one kill. But I mean, it's a consolation prize at the best possible scenario. And that's going to be the inhibitor towers going down. I don't know if they're going to be able to end the game just yet, but I mean, it's total control here from GAM. In there, Pallet went away. They have to go in. He has to go for it. He doesn't try and...
She scales relatively well now, because again, she's going to pick up a ton of AP off her passive and everything. So, I mean, this Syndra is definitely no pushover at the moment. Odie standing tall for a short while in front of that tower before he goes, actually, you know what, I don't want to be.
It's like when you try to start a fight and you realize the guy is much bigger than you, and you're just like, all right, I'm going to be the bigger man, but they got to go for long last fight, but immediately Bong gets CC'd up and there's nothing you can do. Kati goes golden with the stopwatch. Double kill comes in here for Slater. Maybe he wants a little bit more. They're going to try and get Seo on this backside, trying to do as best he possibly can. There's Levi moving forward. It's a triple kill here for Slater. It's a quadra kill for Slater. Penta kill for Slater. He gets himself right back on the map, and it's a league of pentakills here in the play-ins.
The Death said they wanted to see more from Slater. They wanted to see Slater step up. They wanted to see GAM step up. And with a 2-0.
Welcome back to Worlds 2023. I love rolling into a post-game after a video package like that, because we were talking on the desk. After Silas gets a double kill, double buff right out the gate, it's easy peasy, right? Miru and R7, they're going to roll over GAM and just completely take over the game.
Then they rolled over.
If it had ended right there. I mean, look, I want to bring this straight up because it was a little bit of a cheeky Jarvan play, the knockup that actually helped get that second kill. I really thought the game was going to be over there, Mark.
Well, yeah, this is exactly what you want to see. You get your Silas going. The matchups versus Syndra can be tough early on in the range versus melee matchups. The fact you get that early should be off to the races now. You can survive. You get Merc treads early on. You don't care what she does anymore. You start running around the map. You get into side lanes versus her. She's terrible in side lanes versus Silas.
Yep.
You're like, our game plan is online now. Double buff, double kill.
Surely we just continue to win out from here. I mean, even the fact that, like, in that play, Levi's going in, but just underestimates or overestimates his damage because, like, a potion is running, it slips away, and the second one goes over. Like, it should be over with those side lanes like you're talking about. Gwen on one side, the other. I do think that, like, looking at things, maybe it's a little bit too much of an AP focus on that team. Makes it easier to itemize to play side lanes and neutralize that when you have double AP solos plus a Kaisa down on the bot side. But yeah, overall, I just felt like the game stalled out after that. They weren't able to, like, convert that advantage around the map, and then it went into team fights where they really
listen,
slept.
I don't want to sound too catty because after those first 2 kills, it is definitely R7 that were, like, slated to win. But the color palette that R7 just started seeing was grayscale over and over and over.
Puns everywhere. You got them all except for top lane. You'll have to get a top pun, but that's really difficult with some of the names in that lane. I will say immediately 3 lanes, 3 kills, back to GAM. It was like 7-8 minutes in. You know, like this is just a disaster when you're talking about we're about to break out of the laning phase and you instantly give kills back in every single one of them. It really just threw an immediate wrench in the game plan for the side of R7.
Yeah, especially like I think like Levi has shown that he likes to play through topside in the early game, so that ends up happening again. But then here, R7 end up going really, really deep, right? There's teleports coming in behind. They're going into the second tower.
What were they thinking?
Like, and well, they're thinking they're really upset because they couldn't just burst out that single player and get out, and they just kept going in and in and in. And it allowed time for the rotations to come in, the teleport flank from Kiaya as well. And this is really where the game slipped.
And I wonder how much this is overconfidence. You heard Audi in yesterday's interview talking about how Vietnam's not a great region. We beat them before. We should beat them again. This kind of stuff. And very clearly, it felt like potentially some overconfidence, not respecting the laning of their opponents, not respecting the reactions.
The bloodlust, right? Because specifically that tower dive, it really kind of indicated to me just where R7's head was at. They kept throwing themselves at GAM over and over and over. Now, to be fair, GAM opted into that playstyle as well and ultimately just came out on top over more of the fights.
Yeah, I think too, though, the fact that they are just sort of running at a straight line a lot of times at GAM is not how you want to play the game. You're playing against Syndra and against Xayah. Like the amount of times we saw Scout of the Week hitting 3-4 people, then Feathers like continuing to chain them. This is a game where you need to play through side lanes first, then collapse down. You need to look for flank angles, different ways to enter into a fight, because if you line up 3-4 people in a row, I don't think you're ever coming out on top of that, especially when you're playing such a low range, like with melee mid, Kai'Sa on the bot side. You're going to get torn apart by a Syndra Xayah.
Just before we talk about individual player here, I want to look at one more replay, the game ender, as it were, the Baron that was secured there by GAM. I mean, what do you make of this, Mark?
I just really like the aggressiveness out of this team, starting the Baron, forcing them to walk forward. Like Andrew was saying, you want to split up more, and this forces R7 to face check you. Great flank there, able to come over the wall by Pallet, get everyone grouped up, and they still had to chase down a fair amount of time, but good decision to peel back onto Bong when he had his flank opportunity set up there, and just really good target selection. Yeah,
and the difficulty is there when you're behind and your sort of 4 players can't group and hold their ground and fight. Bong coming in on a flank isn't actually flanking anyone. You know, a flank works when you're pinching into the enemy.
It's
when
a target dummy.
Can just run and turn around at you. It's like, oh yeah, okay, it just doesn't work anymore.
No, it doesn't indeed. At the moment, you can see the players from GAM getting ready for Game 2. R7 have selected blue side. Just before we jump into that, let's take a moment to take a look at the post-game breakdown, and then I want to focus in on Slater specifically. He was a player that we were, let's say, critical of coming into the day. I think, in terms of this game, a lot was set up for him, but then once it was set up, he did land a lot of those punches.
Yeah, he was big chilling through the early game, and I think that's all we needed to see. A lot of you don't have to dominate the lane to be a good AD carry. You just have to not int, and the other day was an issue. Today, nothing went wrong. Just got the push for free, comes into the team fights, and that's where he was doing so much damage. I think his feather use, playing with the Syndra, like I was talking about before, was very, very nice and made it almost impossible to actually get dive onto him in the backline.
Yeah, really cool to see them bounce back here today for him especially. And overall, big wins for the format where you have Team Wales often dropping game 1 because it's best of series. Now they can bounce back in theirs. And then here for GAM potentially being able to find their footing, finding what comps are working for them.
Yeah, and for R7, can they bounce back in this series? You're looking at the draft right now. We're less than a minute to go before we head back up to Dagda and Ashin. Dagda was very concerned about that Xayah going over. If you translate what Dagda says and what he means, he was mad, he was angry, he was disappointed in R7, and it showed up. Slater dominated them. I'm putting words in his mouth because he's about to speak.
Look, I'm fine giving over the Xayah, especially because we saw the Kai'Sa destroy Slater in lane. That's not my biggest issue. My issue is how heavy they went into AP on R7's side. I don't think going for the Gwen and like going split push style is the way forward here.
Committing to
it's just going to be ARAM. That's how we're playing as 5v5.
And anytime people leave up Xayah Rakan, usually you pick one away in the first pick. And the fact that they gave the powerful lover